It's a Joey G.
It's just a fishing day.
The Prince of Ponce.
Oh man, you would start off like that. I knew that's where you were going.
The Guggen of the Gulf Stream.
How'd you even come up with that?
I don't know. But what's going on, guys? Callahan Hood here, back with another episode of Mahi Championship. I'm sitting here with Captain Joey Giangrasso. He runs a 52 HCB yacht made by Hydrosport.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. This guy's won tons of Mahi tournaments. He's fished all over the world. He's fished all over DR, the Bahamas. Knows more about Mahi fishing than most people out there. So, Cap, I'm going to ask you a couple questions, man. You go fishing, and just kind of run me through your day when you're going strictly Mahi fishing. You know, what kind of baits are you fishing? What are you looking for out there too? What kind of, just run me through that.
I mean, honestly, they've kind of made it pretty idiot-proof in my opinion. You got so much technology nowadays. You're kind of just really looking for, those temp breaks, those different current edges, those eddies moving in. I mean, any kind of water that's different and meeting up with our stagnant water is kind of what we're targeting, trying to find where these fish are going to use these bodies of water for like a highway.
Right. So you're looking for like a blue edge to a hard green. Doesn't even need to have grass, just some kind of temp break, some edge, right?
Sure. I mean, where the current's built up, you're going to find the bait. If you don't find the bait there, it's going to be close. It's not going to be far off. I mean, like I said, with the technology these days, you can get on an app, you can get on your websites, you can kind of pinpoint on where you should try to be. I mean, typically it's not right on, but you're somewhere damn near close within a few miles of where you're looking at your app on where the tides, where the current's going to change, where the temp's going to change. I'm just strictly trying to put every element together and end up in the right spot in a big ocean.
Right.
That's kind of like my game.
I remember a few years ago you won a big Mahi tournament. I think you won close to $50,000 in that one tournament. I remember you telling me the story. You said, man, I was fishing this ocean and I wasn't liking what I was seeing. And I think you were running that 42 yellowfin for Don.
Yeah, it was.
And you said, man, I'm just going to pick up and run. And you made like a 20-mile power move, right? And like you put him back out and caught a giant.
It was kind of like that. We were fishing a really good edge all day. It looked right. Everything was lining up. We were catching a few fish here and there, but it just didn't feel like we were going to get that big bite. It's one of those calls you make at the end of the day where you got an hour or two and either you're the hero or you're the zero.
No doubt.
It's one of those moves I made and happened to look out to my port side and saw this just enormous section of weed line and could see the current building up and made a hard left offshore, pushed to the east, and we set out and man, they were coming as hard as you wanted them.
Just come in there and piled on it, huh?
We had 7 minutes to catch that fish. And I remember Don, the owner, he looked at me after we put that one in the boat, along with another one to go with him, and he looked at me and goes, we got this thing won, man, and we got it won. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, there's a lot of boats out here, and there's a lot of stuff to fish on. But no, it was a special one, making a power move to make it happen.
Yeah. Man, I don't know if you even remember this, but you remember, this was probably 5 or 6 years ago or something. We were at Nippers, and I didn't even know you were in the Abacos. And I remember you came up, and you were like, and I remember you guys caught like a 55-pound gaffer over there at Blue Marlin fishing, didn't you?
Yeah, actually I have a picture of the one I zinged out right before that. Blew up the real bird's nest. We're all laughing about it. And 20 minutes later, here come a 50-plus pounder, just pile on the short rigger. Everybody saw it, watched the bite. It was killer.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a giant.
There's some big fish. I think it's fishing hard. I think it's a game. I think it's a tough game to play, trying to find the big one. Yeah. But I think if you're in an area where you're putting in the time and there's some fish there, I think maybe just changing it up a little bit to trying to entice the big one would be a good call.
So do you think like the bigger bulls kind of run by themselves, or do you think they're in this smaller pack of fish? Because you get out there and you'll get 20, 30 head of gaffers and they're all cookie cutters, 15, 20 pounders. Is that big 50-pound bull going to be in that school?
I mean, I don't want to leak secrets, but I feel as if that big one's lurking around there somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, you get a 50, 60 pound bull, he can eat an 8, 10 pound baler, you know?
So I put that into perspective all the time. You're in an area where there's a ton of fish and you're getting bites, you get bites, you get bites. You couldn't get the big one to bite. I mean, I don't feel as if he's not there. I just feel like them little ones will get to it quicker than he does.
Yeah.
And he's kind of lurking. He's smart. That's why he's big.
So he's there. Yeah.
I think he's there. I
Yeah.
think you got to put in the time and figure out what he's going to eat.
Yeah.
I think that's the main game. I mean, this thing right here.
Yeah. That's Lobo Lures, man. Check them out.
That's a no-brainer for me right there.
Yeah.
Left long all day long.
Stand by because he's coming.
That's it, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of those things. Get what you put into it, right?
Right, no doubt. So you're obviously looking for flyers, temperature breaks, weed lines, any kind of structure, debris that will hold fish, you know, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I try to fish everything. I
Yeah.
mean, there's some times where it doesn't look right, where the grass is stagnant on the surface. You're not finding a current. You're not finding the temp breaks. You're kind of just, wow, a bunch of grass. And, you know, everybody thinks grass, weed lines, mahis. But in my opinion, that's not the case.
Yeah.
I feel like you can fish 10 of them things and one of them's going to be right, you know?
Yeah.
So I think, like you said, temperature is a big, big, big thing. You find the break, you find the current. Of course, that southerly current moving to the north is ideal. If there's an eddy somewhere, I'll be right in the middle of it.
Yeah, no doubt. All right. Well, you got anything else? Any other pointers you want to touch on to let anybody know that could help them potentially win that first place?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is in my game when I try to target is everything. I'm not gonna sit there and bypass something because I think fishing's better here or there. If it looks right, the bait's there, and there's activity, I don't think there's any point to not stop and try it. Like,
Right.
I think it's 20, 30 minutes. If it's not right, move on. But I think it's more important to try what you see versus just being set with a game plan. I don't remember the last time I went with a game plan and it just all panned
All
out.
worked out. That work out like that.
You're always changing it up. I feel like you get
Yeah.
what you put into it.
No doubt. Well, guys, you heard it from him. You know, he, like I said, he knows more about mahi fishing than anybody out there. So, you know, stick it out.
What'd you say these were called?
Lobo Lures.
Lobo Lures.
Yeah, lobolures.com. Guys got millions of dollars in tournament wins all up and down the coast. So,
I suggest putting a couple of these guys somewhere in your spread. Nice
Yeah.
fat ballyhoo behind them. That's about it. I think it's driving over the fish and being in the right area.
yeah,
Putting
no
in your
doubt.
time.
No doubt. So, all right, guys. Well, give him a follow on Instagram. Joey Giangrasso. Like I said, he's a captain of the ACB 52 Sueños. Follow Mahi Championship on Instagram and Facebook, and we'll see you at the scales. Good luck, guys.
Two boats had saw 19.